supine a couple times in real time. Let's break it down in terms of how she's using her trunk, her whole core, so head, neck, and trunk, and also her upper extremities and lower extremities. Okay. So let's focus on, let's do a slow motion now. And it's always hard because you change things when you go through slow motion, so that's the idea. So don't worry about coming back up. Let's do one more slow motion going into supine. So let's start at the head, neck, and trunk in terms of control. So what does Sue need to do in terms of controlling? What large muscle groups, etc., does Sue require control of when she's going from a seated position to a supine position? So what are some of, think about head and neck, and then move down to the trunk. So is her trunk moving in a direction that would be considered concentric control, or eccentric control, or isometric control? So which way is her trunk moving gross? That's my first question. Trunk, eccentric, concentric, or isometric? Eccentric. Why is it eccentric?
She's preventing herself from just flopping.
Yep, so she's moving in a controlled way into the pull of gravity. So eccentric control of the trunk, particularly her lateral flexors are important, okay, in terms of coming down. So a lot of control on this side of her trunk, eccentric down into gravity. What do you notice her head is doing if I stop her right here? What do we call these reactions in neuroscience?
Writing.
Writing. So her head is writing throughout the transition. So when she goes to lie down, her head isn't just collapsing into gravity. She's also laterally flexing her neck as well, right, to control her head and neck orientation. How about, let's look at her limbs, okay? Upper limbs. So how does Sue choose to use her upper limbs?